Okay, we have a GE, looks like an AM 5, probably 5 tube radio with a clock radio from the early 50s. GE radio alarm clock model 60, or excuse me, model 50. It's very strange though. You have the volume knob and the tuning knob, but there's no dial scale at all. I don't know if there was a plate here that's been removed or what, but there's nothing marking on and off, or no volume or anything here. There's the on and off is right here. Alarm and radio, and of course that knob's missing. No surprise there. Yeah, I think it's just a little, probably a little 4 or 5 tube job. Let's see. Maybe not even that much. It looks like there might be about 3 or 4 tubes in there. Let's see if it works. Well, the clock works, that's for sure. It's definitely noisy. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's got bad filter caps for sure. It's got bad filter caps. I can't even get any reception. Yep, so I guess we're gonna have to open it up and see what filter caps it's got in there and see if I've got them or not. Well, I got the little chassis out. It's definitely got a huge filter cap coming off the side here that, and this is turned around in here. It's got all this room for this long filter cap. It's just, yeah, that's really huge. It must be several sections, 3 or 4 sections possibly. That's a pretty good size filter cap unit. Doesn't look like it's clearly marked, the capacitance on it. Boy, look at that. We got some burned looking paper caps in here, and some that's even got, looks like almost like warts on them from the wax heating up and bubbling. Yeah, those are probably shorted. Well, look at this belt drive looking. Oh no, that's cord on there, but that's awfully. Oh, it's got that slug tuning. It's got that slug tuning on it. I've seen these before, even on FM sets. Yeah, it's got that slug tuning on it. There's no tuning capacitor. It's not an air coil tuned capacitor. It's tuned with these slugs. You've got a slug here and a slug down here. And a slug here and a slug here. And this almost cord drive looking unit runs those slugs. That's really interesting. Almost like a plunger going straight down. Well, I guess they did that to save space or something. That's definitely, I haven't seen that before. I've seen them in, like I said, FM sets. They were used to tune the FM side of everything, but the AM side had a regular air capacitor, air variable capacitor, if I can say it right. Anyway, so yeah, looks like we're gonna have to replace this unit here. So let me see if I can find some markings on this thing. If I don't, I'm gonna have to see if I can't pull a schematic up for it. I think I've got a schematic probably somewhere on my database on the computer. So yep, you can definitely see the wax inside of here where it's been dripping down from those shorted caps. So yeah, those are gonna have to go. And then you got this one that heated up here. So let's see if I can't find a schematic for this thing. Okay, I got me a schematic on this set, and in the process I found out that this set is not from the early 50s, it's from the mid to late 40s. This is from the 47, was it Bitmans, however you pronounce that. Anyway, this was from 1947, so the set was probably manufactured in 46, and this is printed in 47. Anyway, we've got our main power filter capacitor, which is on the schematic as C11. It has three different sections to it. It's got a 40 microfarad going to the audio output transformer and filtering that, and then there's one that goes to the B plus, and then there's one that goes to the audio output tube. The B plus is 30 microfarad, and the audio output tube line is 20. So I went ahead and pulled a few caps that I've got laying around here, and we'll just have to use those. They are varying voltages, but it's just what I have on hand. It shouldn't really matter though. This one's a 33 at 250 volts. We've got a 47 at 200 volts, and this is the only 22 I had. It was a 450 volt. Well, kind of wish I had a little bit lower voltage, like 160 or something like that. It'd make the little capacitor a little bit smaller, but that's what I've got on hand, so that's what I'm going to use. So I guess the next thing to do would be I'm just going to leave this old can cap in here, and I guess I'm just going to go and put the new caps up under the bottom of here, and cut the wires off of this and solder them onto here, and just leave this in place. Otherwise you're going to have a big hole, you know, if I take that out, and it's going to be more work, and it's not hurting anything just sitting there. I guess I could hollow it out and just put these inside of there if I wanted to, but I don't know. We'll see. If there's a problem with being room inside of here, I may do that. I may just take the innards out of this and put these inside of there. Okay, I went ahead and replaced these filter capacitors. I've just kind of got these tacked in here for now. I went ahead and ordered some new filter capacitors. These are just some that I have on hand. They're various voltages. They're a little bit higher than what's factory. I think I got one at 250 and the other one at 200 volts. The original ones are at 150, which is no mind. I mean, that's fine, but I'm hoping that the newer ones are going to be a little bit smaller than these, so I'm probably going to replace those. I did go ahead and replace one of the ones. It's just a little low voltage. I think it's 25 volts. And that one down in there is 35 volts. But I took a voltage measurement, and there's only about 3 volts going through it, so that's not a big deal. Anyway, I went ahead and replaced this capacitor here. That was the one of the melty ones. This one down here, I see the end coming out of it, so it's probably no good. All these paper ones are going to have to end up being changed anyway. Just better off. But a lot of these are bypass capacitors, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in and try it out. But yeah, these should work for now until I get the replacements in. See what happens. You can definitely hear the clock. Gonna have to see if I can oil that. Maybe oil the gears up so it's a little quieter. Oh, there we go.
750 locations. Or visit refreshleadership.com.
That's pretty clear. You got this one station that's like throughout half the band, so this thing has hardly no rejection. So you're still moving and you're still getting that station. Yeah, I'm only able to get about 2 stations on this thing, but at least it is playing. That's a start. Alright, well, I think we'll go ahead and change some of these other paper capacitors, and I'm going to wait for my new filter capacitor, electrolytic filter capacitors to come in from the Antique Electronic Supply, and we'll go from there. I'm going to have to replace that. That one looks pretty roach too. Okay, I'm going to check the tubes on this GE clock radio here. This is a 12 SQ7. That one's pretty weak. Only like 38%. Really weak. So I guess we're going to need a 12 SQ7. Okay, here's a 50L6 audio output tube. Let's see what it, I think it's had enough time to warm up. Let's see. Oh yeah, that one's well into the green. It's 70%, so that one should be fine. Okay, let's see, this is a 12 SG7. It's one of those metal tubes, so you can't really see it light up. Let's see what it says here. Yeah, it's still warming up. Barely into the green. Yeah, it's borderline, it's okay. I'll probably go through my junk pile and see if I have anything that's stronger, but it'll suffice. Here's a Westinghouse 12 SG7 that I got out of my stash. It's a lot better. It's 80, so we'll just go with this one. It's in the box anyway, so might as well use it. Okay, and then it kind of oddly has one of these little miniature rectifier tubes, which is a 35W4. I read where these radios were substituted. It said something about there was a shortage of these. I don't remember what number tube they used in here. Some of them used this tube that I've got, which is a substitute, and some of them used the bigger rectifier tube. I'm not sure which one it was. Yeah, they used another tube. I'm sure it was a 35 volt tube for the rectifier, and anyway, they substituted it with this one because there was a shortage of the other ones. Anyway, let's see if this one's any good. Oh yeah, it's, my meter's jumping around because that switch has got a short in it. Yep, it's fine. It's way over strong, so we're good on the rectifier. Okay, we got our replacement capacitors in, so I guess we'll start putting these in. I've only got one of the paper capacitors, this .022 that I've got to replace. Only got one of those left, and there's only 2 electrolytics I need to replace. One of these and one of these. 0.33, or excuse me, 33 microfarad, and well, the original was a 40 and the original was a 30, but yeah, I had to get a 47 and a 33. Okay, I got all the capacitors changed. Got all the power caps in and all the paper caps changed. I don't know if any of those paper caps will change the performance, but you know, they were pretty bad shape. This is a tone capacitor. There's like a burn mark there, and some of these things were just, you know, pushing the wax out of the end, and some of them were getting hot, so I just went ahead and changed them. Anyway, so yeah, capacitor shouldn't be an issue now unless some of these mica caps or whatever decide to go or whatever. Alright, well, let's put it back together, plug it in, and see what's happening with it. Okay, here it is, all back together, and a little elbow grease to clean it up. This knob was missing. I doubt I'll ever find it. I think the little part of the knob shaft broke off too, so whatever. Yeah. Is in doubt in terms of who's going to win the division. I really do. This thing really, we got a station close by, a Christian station that's really powerful, and it blends over a lot of the local stations. The channel rejection on this thing is not up to par. I don't know why.
Response from the Lamb of God. This is Brother Stephen Blankenship.
Yeah, this is all you can hear.
Inquire is true or not, but I have absolutely nothing to do with it.
So you're still coming in with that station there.
WTTG in Washington. And a New Jersey lawmaker wants to outlaw walking while texting. The bill would also bar pedestrians on public roads from using electronic devices.
So you can still hear that station less than a mile away. You can turn it all the way to the end of the dial and you still hear that station.
And I met
There's no doubt about it. I know you're a Cubs fan, so I'll hang up with you for a second here.
All right, Travis, thank you. I mean, again, I remember I said, I just can't,
you can still hear that station a little bit underneath.
Is by far the most unpredictable.
That one there.
You never know what's going to happen, right?
That one's about 40 miles away. Anyway, that's the little 1946 GE clock radio model 50.
One of those two teams.
playing again. So thanks for watching.
Could end up being Oklahoma City, or maybe.